battle of some of the NBA's biggest stars playing the role of leader on their national team. Yao Ming from China, and of course Dirk Nowitzki there in the pack for Germany. And again, just an enormous game as these two teams battle for a spot in the medal round. And what an important game it is, Doug, for Yao Ming and China here playing in Beijing, a chance to get into the quarterfinals, which would tie them for their best ever Olympic appearance.
Well, there was a lot of speculation, Mike, after they get beat by the United States and in the crushing overtime loss where they had a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, let it get away, how that China would rebound from that. Well, what did Yao Ming do against Angola? 10 of 11 from the floor, 10 of 11 from the line, had 30 points. And so now he's put his team in a position here. They win tonight. Germany has got to play the United States, so both of these teams would have 2 wins. The tiebreaker would go to the China team, so this could be the game decide the medal round here. And how apropos would it be for Yao Ming to be able to get his team into the round of 8? One of the great highlights of his career would happen if that would be here tonight in China.
Meanwhile, you saw Nowitzki. He said one of the great highlights of his career was getting the German team to their first Olympics since 1992. So some NBA stars with all the money in the world playing for national pride. And these games have meant so much to them. We've watched them. Their emotions flying high. Yao Ming, first shot of the night.
Well, you got 2 great matchups. You got Jian Lian against Dirk Nowitzki. We'll watch that matchup. And then Yao Ming and Chris Kaman. So guys that know each other from playing against each other in the NBA. Let's see who gets the best of that matchup.
Nowitzki looking for Kaman, the Clipper center. Playing in his first international competition. Left-handed shot won't go. And Jian Lian, now the New Jersey Nets, the rebound. They need him to play well. He's really been up and down in these Olympics. Yeah,
he had a good game the other night against Angola. He had 10 points and 11 rebounds. They're going to need more of that as Yao Ming deep in the paint 2 times in a row. And again, he's coming off that 30-point night where he shot 10 of 11. So Yao Ming emotionally recharged after that devastating overtime loss to Spain.
That's the point guard, Stefan Hamann, for Germany, number 9. Conrad Weisseke gives it to Nowitzki. Quick shot from Dirk Nowitzki, and he knocks it down. He's averaging just under 16 a game. He's had a couple of terrific games, also had a struggle game against Greece when they really banged him up.
Well, one of the things you have to do against Germany, you really have to contest that 3-point shot. It's a team that really depends so much on that shot. Here's a quick spin move by Yao Ming on Chris Kaman.
You can see Yao every game getting a little better as Jian Lian knocks down the shot, and China off to a terrific start. Germany won their first game against Angola, then lost to Greece and lost to Spain as Chris Kaman misses. Ball kept alive, still knocked loose. And it's going to be Germany's ball. Look at Yao dive on the floor. We've talked so much during these Olympic Games about that broken bone in his foot by the ankle back in February. They were worried he might not play for his national team. He's not 100%. And you can bet the Houston Rockets not thrilled the fact that he's out there playing and playing hard. But there was no way, as Nowitzki knocks down the 3, no way Yao Ming was going to miss these Olympic Games here in his homeland. That's Liu Wei. Jian Lian. Liu Wei from 3. Off the mark. Won't go. The rebound to Weisseke. And here comes Nowitzki. Pass deflected. He is not known for his defense, but he's already very active in the early minutes, Doug.
Yeah, Dirk has been a little turnover prone in this Olympics, too, averaging almost 3 turnovers a night. So he's got to be more careful of the ball. Possession is going to be very important in this game. Here's Yao Ming. Remember, this is the way he started the tournament against the United States. He hit the open triple to start that game, which is sort of apropos. Ironically, he's only hit 1 NBA 3 throughout his entire career, but that is a 23-foot 9-inch shot as opposed to 20 feet 6 inches.
Beautiful block from Sun Yue. Sun Yue down the other end, the left-hander, way off the mark. Gets the rebound off the deflection. Liu Wei, the soft little push shot. He has it blocked, knocked out of bounds, still China ball. Boy, this crowd's so into the game. They're aware of the ramifications of what this means to get them in the medal round.
Well, when you have terrific post play like China does, it's going to be so important for them to knock down some 3-point shots. The other night, San Jue knocked a couple down. Zhu Fang Yu hit a couple early in the game, really loosened the inside up for Yao Ming.
That's Zhu Fang Yu. He can get hot. Not that time, so after hitting their first couple of shots, they've now missed 4 in a row. Yi Jianliang with the assignment on Nowitzki. Nowitzki pass inside. They kick it back out. Waisaki, air ball. Kamen and Yao wrestle for it. Ball knocked loose, and here comes China. Liu Wei, the veteran point guard and former teammate of Yao Ming here in China. He's called for an offensive foul. He is their best point guard. He is their best ball handler. They don't have a lot of alternatives if he's struggling or out of the game.
Well, remember the other night at a critical time, Liu Wei got his eye cut open, had to sit down a few minutes against Spain when Spain was making that rush to come back from that 14-point lead, lost the momentum. They never were able to get it back and lost that game in overtime.
There's Rusoki, who played at Princeton. Nowitzki. Ball deflected, still alive, and Germany will get a new 24. Jump shot off the mark from Damon Green. And it's 6-5. China with a 1-point lead. We've played just over 4 minutes. And again, if you're new to Olympic basketball, 4 10-minute quarters. Yao against Chris Kamen. Count it, and a foul. 6 points already for Yao, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Now, one of the things you're seeing with Yao Ming also is that he's getting in better shape. The more he's playing in this tournament, actually, the stronger he's getting. Mike, you had alluded to the fact that he had the broken bone in his foot, missed a lot of time, and we know how difficult it is for big men to stay in condition when they're off their feet that long. He's in a cast, and yeah, we know he was swimming and doing all those different kind of things, but until you get up and down a court, you start running, having big guys push on you, you just do not know your level of conditioning, and he's getting stronger as this tournament goes along.
Of course, he's had injuries the last 3 seasons in the NBA, and part of it because he's playing every summer for the national team. This might be his last hurrah as an Olympian. He has hinted at that. Nowitzki now has Yao belly up on him. They kick it out. Sven Schultz in the game. There's Damon Green, short, ball knocked loose. And Sun Yue, number 9 for China, who's going to play with the Lakers this year, able to get the rebound.
Well, Damon Green, you chase him off that 3-point line, Mike. He has 9 field goals in the tournament, 9 of 17 from 3, has not hit a 2-point field goal.
Yao spinning, and he got hammered. Foul will go against Patrick Femmerling. And China will take it out of bounds.
A lot of these German players have played in the United States. Patrick Femmerling played in the University of Washington for Bobby Bender. You talked about Wasaki playing at Princeton. So a lot of these guys have played in the United States for universities, so they're very familiar with a lot of these American players that you see in this tournament.
You also see they're in the Olympic spirit. They've got the Olympic ring shaved in their heads. Yao misses. Rebound Femmerling. You know who did the shaving?
I think Chris Kamen. That's sort of scary. I would not get in a chair with him with a pair of clippers or scissors. That's all I'm going to say. You play for the Clippers, but I don't let you use the clippers on me. Is all I'm going to say.
Nowitzki to the basket. He draws the foul, and considering his hairstyles of the past, I don't know if he's the one to kind of set the tone.
Now, I would like to say, did you give your own haircut? If you did, I am not getting in that chair.
Of course, Kamen, as you mentioned with the Clippers, he's able to play because his great-grandparents were German, and that's been a source of controversy for not only him, but with the Russian women's team and Becky Hammond. You look, though, throughout Olympic rosters, not only in basketball, in numerous sports, there's that type of thing goes on all the time. It tends to get more notice, certainly in the United States, when it's a very known NBA player or WNBA player.
Well, his dad wasn't real happy with him either. He said, I just want to let you know something. If you play the United States or when you do in pool play, I am cheering for the United States. So Chris Kamen had to do a rooting job on his mother to make sure that she's going to cheer for him in that particular game. So Germany will play the United States the last game of pool play.
Now, with more on that, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, at the opening ceremonies, Kobe Bryant went up to him and said, Chris, tell me something in German. And he didn't know one word of German. That says it all. Like,
ball knocked away. Kamen obviously on the bench now as Nowitzki brings it up. There's Femmerling, one of the veterans of this German national team. Nowitzki has it lost. Jianlian really playing well early.
Well, he's the key to this team. I thought had he played well, they would have beat Spain. That was not the case. He did play much better against Angola and off to a good start here tonight.
Liu Wei misses. Nowitzki the rebound. Femmerling. There's also Robert Garrett, number 7, has come in for Germany. Three-pointer won't go. And Sun Yue with the board. For Germany, if they're not hitting their three-point shots like open ones like that, Doug, they're in some trouble.
Well, they've taken 71 threes in the first 3 games out of their 160 field goals. So almost 40% of their shots are from behind the three-point line. Here's Jianlian. Boy, they need that from this young guy. He's got so much talent, Mike. We've talked about it, his level of inconsistency. He's still a very young player. But moving now to the New Jersey Nets in that trade for Richard Jefferson, a lot more pressure on him now to perform in that New York area.
Well, he really struggled the first couple of games, and Zhu Fanyu with the steal. Sun Yue ahead to Liu Wei, and he's bumped. Hit hard by Schultz. And a couple of free throws for Liu Wei.
And you can see the difference in this game. Really, China's guards are better than the Germany guards team, you know. So you look at this, and one of the things that overwhelmed China in that game against the United States is they just couldn't get into their offense. They turned the ball over, great defensive pressure. Same thing that happened to Spain late in that game when Spain upped their defensive pressure. In this game, Germany's not the kind of team that can create those kind of turnovers. You would expect China's guards to be able to come down, run their offense, get the ball inside, and then critically for them, if there's double teams, make those open three-point shots.
Who would have thought anyone would say that China's guards are better than such and such a country? That was never heard of, but they've really improved. Yes,
they have. And Liu Wei, you talked about it, Mike, has been very solid. Sun Yue has been up and down. He's a little bit of a combo, you know, small forward, big guard. But if they can get those guys playing well, you know what Yao Ming's capable of. Wang Zhuzhu coming off the bench played so well against Spain. And if he starts playing well, you've got 3 pretty good big men on that front line.
Meanwhile, the backup point guard comes in, Chen Jianhua, who's only 19 years old. He's a 6'2 lefty who they think is going to be terrific. Problem is, it's feast or famine with him. He's flashy, he's creative, but he's also turnover prone as he still learns how to play with the national team.
Now he has 8 turnovers in the first 3 games.
Garrett, short jumper, nearly tipped in by Femmerling. Here's Wang Shipeng, another backup guard, brings it up. And there already his first turnover, the young man. Garrett the other way. Oh, what a block! Another block from behind. Wang Zhuzhu with the second rejection. 2 terrific defensive plays for China. Wang puts it in, and China goes up by 7.
Boy, you can feel the emotion in this crowd. Look at the crowd on their feet. The Chinese national team excited. Donnie Nelson high-fiving his team. And China off to a great start here tonight, leading 14-7.
And their defense getting it done. Germany just 2 of 13 from the field. An excellent defense. A couple of terrific blocks in that last sequence. And as you see, Nowitzki knocking that one down, but that's all Germany was able to get. Here's the defensive plays. First, it's Sun Yue. What a great block. And then the hustle. Wang Zhuzhu. He got away with a foul there, too.
A little home court advantage.
Well, the officials tonight, one of the NBA guys, Eddie Rush from the United States, of course. Also, Ronaldo Mercedes from Dominican Republic. And Pablo Estevez from Argentina, as we send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, Doug Collins mentioned that Donnie Nelson high-fiving the team from China as they came into the huddle for that timeout. He is the chief advisor of the team, and this is also an assistant coach. He told me before the game that this is the biggest game in Chinese basketball history. I said, what about the game against the U.S.? He goes, that had more anticipation, and, of course, it had a bigger TV audience, but there's far more riding on this game. All the pressure on China to advance to the Final 8 in the Olympics in their home country. He says the players know it, they are focused, and they will play a great game. So far, he's been right.
You know, Craig, they advanced to the medal round back in 2004. Del Harris was the head coach, and that was a huge moment. First time they made it to the medal round. But the fact that these games are in Beijing is so much more important. As Nowitzki get out here, and this crowd just thunderous ovations every time they do something positive.
Well, Dirk Nowitzki 2 of 4 from the floor now after that miss. The rest of the German national team 0 for 10.
Wang Shipeng in and out, off the mark. And Nowitzki the board.
No, it's interesting, Mike. You can see the influence of these American coaches with these teams as spot-up jump shot missed, and now 0 for 11 for the rest of the team other than Dirk. But so many of these teams run NBA plays now. They run those little screen downs to get their shooters coming off, catch and shoot plays, a little diagonal action to throw the ball in the post. So you can see the American coaches and what they've brought to these teams.
Yao Ming inside, got hit from behind. First he knocked in the Femerling, then contact from behind. They let it all go, and he banks in the jumper. 8 points for Yao Ming, half of their China's points right now. 8 straight points, and you hear the chant, China. Foul call on Sun Yue. That's one of the differences, Doug, between the NBA and international ball. Off the ball, you run through the paint, you can get forearms and shoves. They don't call a lot of that. Certainly in the NBA they do all the time, but off the ball there's a lot of physical play going on.
Well, you just think back about 5 or 6 years ago, they let that go on in the NBA as well, and they said, wait a second, this basketball is a game of finesse, speed, cuts. You got to be able to pass and cut and get to the basket. Used to be like you used to run through and get hit by 3 or 4 different guys, so they cleaned that up in NBA play.
There's Garrett. There's right at 8. Kaman off the bench, banks in the foul as Nowitzki gets a rest.
If you haven't seen Chris Kaman play much, he's a lot like Carlos Boozer in the fact that although he shoots his jump shot and free throws right-handed, he really is a left-handed player around the basket. So you have to play his left hand when you're guarding him near the rim.
First quarter winding down, about a 3-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Wang Zhuzhou hits a 3.
He used to be a good three-point shooter. This looks like it's going to be the end of the quarter, so a big shot there, getting back. No attempt, but Wang Zhuzhou, known for his three-point shooting early in his career, he was 0 for 9 going into tonight's game. He knocks down that 3, and how about this? China 19-9, a terrific defensive first quarter.
They hold Germany to 3 of 17 from the field. Meanwhile, Yao Ming with 8 points, off to a terrific start. Again, as Doug mentioned, had 30 in the previous game against Angola. Had struggled shooting. It's obvious he's just getting more comfortable as it goes on. He's also been double-teamed almost all the time. He's the leader, but his teammates have picked up the slack.
Well, one of the things, and I talked about this with the China guards, Mike, post play is no good if your guards can't get the ball down the floor and get the ball to you in the operating area. And against the United States, that was not the case. They forced Yao Ming to shoot a lot of jump shots. And then against Spain, they were doing a great job of that. And then Spain picked up their defense. So the ability for China's guards to not turn the ball over and be able to drop the ball in the post like this, deep post position. Femerling tries to take the foul. It's not there. And when Yao Ming catches the ball in the paint, he's going to score 70% of the time.
And off to a terrific start. They got to be juiced by this crowd. And again, you go to any event featuring either a Chinese team or Chinese athletes, they have the national anthem before, and you have 18,000 people singing the national anthem with gusto and with pride. And you've got to get all fired up when you come out on the floor. And Yao Ming, as we've said so many times, is he's the most famous face in China. They just absolutely adore him.
Well, you've got to love him as a teammate. I mean, this country, they so admire the way he goes about his business. And you know, Mike, when he came to the United States to play, a big part of it was that he had to continue to represent his national team. And he has done that through injuries, through fatigue, through it all. And my hat's off to him. This big man needs the summer to rest, but that's not going to be the case with him.
Kaman against E. Comes up short. Kaman gets it back, and he's called for travel. A couple of days ago, they were asking Yao Ming about the matchup because many expected the final spot in the one pool to come between Germany and China. And Yao says, we're not afraid of Germany. He goes, E can limit Nowitzki, and I can take care of Kaman. You rarely hear him boast like that.
Well, Chris came in. I spoke to him a little bit before the game. He said, man, is this a different game over here? And I said, absolutely right. It's a different game.
A loose ball foul. It's going to go against Wang Zhuzhu. Now, Germany, they were the last team to qualify for these Beijing games. It was just this past July, in the summer of 2008, where they had to go into the qualifying, and they wound up beating New Zealand, Brazil. They lost to Croatia in the semifinals and had a huge game. It was them and Puerto Rico. The winner goes to the Olympics. The loser doesn't go. And Nowitzki had a huge 32-point game. They beat Puerto Rico, and it's their first Olympic appearance since 1992.
And Nowitzki, after that game, broke down and cried about 12 years of blood, sweat, and tears he had put in for his country. Chris came and said, I'd been here 12 days. He'd been here 12 years. And I realized the effect it had on him to be able to get to the Olympics. In fact, Chris came and said, I didn't even think we'd get to the Olympics.
Chen has it stripped. Nice defensive play from Schultz. And here's Pascal Roller, the backup point guard, knocks down the shot. There you see Zhu Fanyu, a very talented wing player. You've seen him get hot a couple of times. Wang Zhuzhu tied up. Shot clock down to 7. Wang Shipeng misses. Good defense that time from Garrett. Roller hits another one. Roller back-to-back shots. That's a three-pointer. And just like that, it's a 4-point game.
We talk about the importance of Germany knocked down outside shots. In their 3 previous games, they'd only scored less than 21 points a game in the paint. So if they're not knocking down that outside shot, they really struggle to score.
And Roller averaging just 4 a game. Already has 6 in his first couple of minutes off the bench. Germany back within 4. We go to Craig Sager.
Well, Doug was mentioning how busy Yao Ming has been and how he's trying to come off that injury. Here in the Olympics, he ran with the torch. He carried the flag in the opening ceremonies, and he shoulders the burdens and expectations of an entire nation. And when he just came out of the game, instead of sitting there, he went over to the maintenance crews and actually told them where to mop up the wet spots on the floor. So he takes pride in everything he does, and yes, he is the face of Chinese basketball without a doubt.
And we've seen him when he's not on the bench. He's up cheering, so demonstrative. Certainly, you know, we've seen more emotion every year in Houston, but nothing compared to what we've seen in the Olympic Games, the way he acts with the kind of emotion.
Well, the other night against the United States, he was taken out of the game. They were down 30 with about 5 minutes to go. He was exhausted. He walked off the floor, and he held up his fist. The crowd cheered. And then on the bench for his teammates, he was cheering as if they had a chance to win that game the last 5 minutes. And that's the kind of teammate that Yao Ming is. It's going to be interesting next year. You've added Ron Artest to that mix, Tracy McGrady, and what the Houston Rockets might be able to do next year in the NBA playoffs.
Wang Shipeng, three-pointer won't go, came on the rebound. Yao is second in these games in scoring at 18 a game, and he's first in rebounding at just under 9 a game. The numbers might obviously appear lower than you normally hear from them in the NBA, but remember, it's a 40-minute game. And a foul. Wang Shipeng on the reach-in. Only the second team foul. Like the NBA, you shoot on your 5th team foul in each quarter.
Roller's actually come in and did a nice job for them. He's been able to run their team, knock down a couple shots when they've needed them, and got Germany back in this game.
Roller's 31. Another guy who's played on many German national teams. Finally getting a chance to play in the Olympic Games. Garrett inside Kamen. Again, there's that left hand. And Yao Ming called for the foul.
It's a scouting report you get on guys. You know, when you are a coach and you do your scouting report, the United States is here scouting this game tonight. My son, Chris Collins, Steve Wojciechowski, both assistant coaches from Duke, Tony Ronzoni, Johnny Dawkins, they're the guys who do the advanced scouting. They take the reports back to the coaches and then collate everything. So a lot of work goes in behind the scenes. There's the U.S. coaches, Mike D'Antoni, the assistant, now with the New York Knicks, Jim Boeheim, the longtime Hall of Fame coach from Syracuse, and Jerry Colangelo, the guy who's put this all together. There is Nate McMillan from Portland. He'll be seeing Rudy Fernandez later on, who will be joining him. The terrific young guard from Spain will be in Portland next season.
Meanwhile, Germany, 8 straight points to start the second. They're within 2. That foul on Yao Ming was his first. And he's going to go to the line again. Pumping his fist. We see that over and over. Remember in Athens, you could see the difference. Remember he was at the free throw line and the fans were trying to rattle him, and he cupped his hand to his ear as if to say, bring it on. I mean, we had never seen anything from Yao Ming like that.
A little Americanization there.
Absolutely. Nowitzki commits that foul, his first.
How about Yao Ming, though? This guy shoots 91% from the foul line in the tournament. And I talked about this the other night. How many big guys do you know have ever shot the technicals for their team? Maybe Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, it's 6'11", but how many centers shoot the technical? Maybe Ilgauskas for Cleveland.
Right, but nobody better at his size.
Right. And I jinxed him.
So now his average will drop to under 90%. He has been sensational. Roller trying to find his way, and just fresh in the game. Jan Jagla misses that three-pointer. Another guy played college ball in America at Penn State. Sun Yue. Jagla on him. Shot clock down to 6. Kaman single coverage. Now they dump down. Shot clock at 1. Yao's got to put it up. Won't get it off in time. And a 24-second violation. Good defense from Germany.
Yao Ming upset it at that time. He should have taken that shot, and he kicked it out to Sun Yue, who was not ready to shoot it. By the time it went back into the post, the shot clock had blown up on Yao Ming.
Devon Green checks back in. Jagla will sit. 6.5 remaining here in the second. China leading Germany by 3. Nowitzki. Kaman on the tip, comes back down and puts it back up and in. So Kaman playing some very active basketball. 6 points, 3 boards off the bench.
Well, if Germany's going to win, Kaman and Nowitzki are going to have to put up about 40 points between them.
And Kaman just hacks Yao on the entry pass. Now Kaman's a pretty big guy. He stands about 7 feet. He just looks small when he's behind Yao Ming.
Yeah, you couldn't see him. I mean, it absolutely obliterated him when that ball went in the post. Mike, you and I had the angle on it, and we didn't know where Chris Kaman was. Oh, beautiful player by Sun Yue. Just backcut Devon Green, who taps himself on the chest and says, my fault. And as a coach, you go, that my fault is going to get me beat, is what you're going to do. So guard it next time, son.
That my fault, get me fired.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Garrett, back out, roller. Devon Green looking for Kaman. Shot clock at 8. Kaman over Yao. Good defense and the rebound.
I think Kaman should turn and face on Yao Ming and use his quickness maybe off the drive rather than try to shoot over the top of that 7'6" wingspan of his.
Kaman trying to battle Yao, pushing him out of his comfort zone. Yao puts it up, won't go. Roller, another 3. Too strong. The coach for China is Jonas Kozlauskas, the former Lithuanian coach. And as Doug and Craig talking about earlier, Don Nelson is the assistant coach. They've known each other, those two, for a long time. Yao, an open jumper. That's his second three-pointer in these games. As we said, he's only had one in his entire NBA career. He likes that 20 feet 6 inches and a block. But a foul before the block's going to be on E.
Good Yao Ming step out, and we've talked about that shooting stroke. Remember now, free throw is 15 feet, so he's a little over 5 feet further back from that. In the NBA, it would be over 8.5 feet back, so that's a much different shot. But actually, Rick Adelman would like to see him shoot that shot more often for Houston. In many instances, Mike, they run those screen rolls, and he rolls out, and he's a reluctant shooter. And many games I did last year with Rick Adelman, as you did, the games before, he'd always talk to me. He wished Yao Ming would trust that shot a little bit more on the perimeter.
He's the type, you go down 5 times in a row. If he scores 5 times in a row, he almost feels like, all right, I got to get my teammates involved, as opposed to saying, give me the ball, I'm red hot.
Right, let milk me until there's nothing left, and then go to someone else.
But he's also come a long way in that thinking from where he was when he first started.
There's that inside out. You got to knock that 3 down if you're Chapong. He was a little hesitant and missed.
25-21, China by 4. Kamen. And Germany continues to struggle from the field. 22%, just 6 of 27. 18,000 plus capacity crowd here at this basketball arena in Wukesong. Yao misses. Battle for the rebound. And here comes Hamann. Stefan Hamann playing in his first Olympics. He's more of a defensive point guard. Nowitzki spinning. I haven't said this often, but I'm impressed with Lee Jianghyun's defense.
He has the capability, Mike. That's why I was critical early in the tournament, because I didn't think he was playing to his potential. And this guy's the top 6 pick in the NBA. Tall, he can run, he's athletic, he can shoot the ball, and just he goes through stretches you don't know he's on the floor.
Yu Fang Yu misfires. E with the rebound. Yao looks tired right now.
Wang Zhuzhu didn't get a whole lot of minutes. He was pretty effective. We'll see maybe if he gets in here in this half.
Liu Wei, the runner, bank shot won't go. And Yao was pushed on the rebound. Kamen is going to be called for it. Germany not in the penalty yet. That's 3 fouls on Kamen.
Got to be careful too. You know, he almost got a technical there. One of the things about these international referees, they'll take a little grief from you as long as you don't keep going at them. They'll take the first verbal assault if you'll get away from them. But Kamen's going to have to sit down. That's a big foul now, because now who's going to guard Yao Ming?
Kamen's out trying to buddy up to Eddie Rush, the NBA ref.
Look at Eddie Rush laughing. He's shaking his head. Like, don't talk to me. I didn't call that.
Wang Shipong misses. Hey, Eddie, you're my buddy. You're a great ref. You got to help out these international guys. Nowitzki gets hit. No continuation in Olympic basketball. So China in the penalty.
It's so tough to guard Dirk Nowitzki when he's trailing on that break, because you have to respect his three-point shot. So now you close out. He loves to drive left, and when he drives left, he loves to step back and shoot that little fading jumper. And if he goes right, his tendency is to want to go all the way. So, you know, China, I'm sure, does not have that kind of scouting report because they do not see him. But when you get in a playoff series, those are little things that matter when you try to shut down big-time scores.
Dirk, of course, as we said, you know, the former MVP of the NBA, but this means so much to him. He's played on the national team since 1999, went to European championships in 99, in 01, in 05, in 07, world championships a couple of times. They came close in 2000 to making the Olympics. They came close in 2004, but always fell short. And that's why, as you said, he got so emotional when they defeated Puerto Rico to clinch the final spot in these Beijing games. Yu Fang Yu, 2 on the shot clock. And an air ball. Under 2.5 to play. Well, it's been a pretty quick first half. Nowitzki falling away. Nice tip out by Femmerling. And they'll reset. Sven Schultz. Wang Zhuzhu on Nowitzki. That's the shot Nowitzki loves, just not getting it to fall, and he's now 2 of 8 from the field.
Going left, that little step back, Mike, we just had spoken about that.
Liu Wei, bad pass. Excellent defense, though, by Femmerling. He read that perfectly. Hamann, coast to coast. And Kozlowskis wants a timeout. You get 2 timeouts per half, or 2 timeouts in the first half, 3 in the second half. I think also perhaps to give Yao Ming a little bit of a breather. He's been out there a long time, and again, still trying to get himself in shape, Doug.
Well, what's happened, in my estimation, here early is that Germany withstood that energetic burst to start the game by China. They got down, and Germany shot the ball so poorly in that first quarter. Dirk Nowitzki had a couple shots. The rest of the team was like 3 for 17 in that quarter. And since that point in time, they've settled down. They're starting to put a little more pressure on China's guards. They're forcing a lot tougher shots. And China not making those shots they made early. As a result, Germany is right back in this game.
Well, you look at Germany, they're shooting 23% from the field, and it's tied. Germany's last game will be against the United States. That might be meaningless for them if they lose this one. Meanwhile, for China, even if they lost in this one, they would still have a chance. It'd be tough, but still have a chance for them to make the medal round. Their final game is against Greece. But they can seal that bid into the medal round if China wins today. Nowitzki, of course, also, you got to think, clinching that spot in the Olympic berth after the way his season ended, the first round loss for the second year in a row. That's some success. Oh, nice strip and steal from Hamann. And Germany has their first lead of the game. After trailing by 10, they've now scored 8 in a row here in this stretch and lead by 2. And a foul on Hamann. I think he stepped out of bounds anyway.
Picked his pocket, goes down, lays the ball in the basket. So Germany's guard starting to play much better. I thought Roller came in and really got him started with this nice play off the bench.
Yao Ming misses. Nowitzki with another rebound. Nowitzki has 9 boards here in the first half.
Very similar to the game against Angola. China had a big first quarter, had a nice lead, and then really fell apart in the second quarter when Angola went to a zone.
Schultz misses, and a foul's going to be called on Yao Ming. Kind of holding on to Femmerling. And again, they're in the penalties, so Femmerling will shoot. Femmerling, 33 years old, and getting a chance to play in his first Olympics after so many disappointments. He's played in over 200 games with the national team. They say he's one of Germany's best big men ever. He's played in Spain, he's played in Greece, but like Dirk, always wanted to represent his country in the Olympics. And the big man hits the second. Germany up by 4. Final minute, first half. Second quarter, Germany has outscored China 20-6.
Again, that's very similar to the game against Angola, where they had the 14-point lead and went dry. Angola went on a big run and actually was only down 2 at halftime.
Wang Zhuzhu, tough shot, won't go. And a ball deflected by Yao Ming. Actually, it looked like one of the German players. They see Jose Calderon and his general manager, Brian Calandro, Jerry's son, who now runs the Raptors. A lot of friendships against opponents here in these Olympic Games with the NBA going worldwide. We've got another timeout with 35.5 remaining here in the second quarter as we send it to Craig.
Well, definitely basketball is worldwide, and there are 5 players who played in the NBA or are currently playing the NBA who received the honor of carrying their flag during the opening ceremonies. For Yao Ming, who's playing in his 3rd Olympics, this was the 2nd time he was able to carry the flag, being honored by the Chinese delegation. He also carried the flag 2004 in Athens. And he shared the honor with one of his friends, one of the young earthquake survivors, the province of Xinjiang. And meanwhile, Dirk Nowitzki, he was honored by the German Federation. Now, Dirk Nowitzki has been around the Olympics for many years. His mother was a star in the German women's national basketball team. His father, a star in the team handball playing for us. Team handball team for West Germany, and he was very thrilled. 3 other players. Manu Ginobili carried it for Argentina, Šarūnas Jasikevičius for Lithuania, and Andrei Korolenko carried it for Russia. Right.
Craig, of course, we all know the story of Nowitzki. He didn't really play basketball till 13 because he was a handball player like his father, a foul away from the ball. But he really was more interested in basketball, and then when he switched from handball to basketball, his father was very upset, resigned as the coach of the team that he was. His father eventually learned to love the game of basketball, as Dirk says. So Hamann will go to the free throw line with 24.6 seconds remaining. Dirk Nowitzki's come a long way from playing for the Wurzburg X-Rays. That was his first pro team when he played in Germany. He's from Wurzburg, which was the town where the X-ray was founded.
Well, you think about his leadership role with Dallas, too. For the longest time, it was he and Michael Finley and Steve Nash. And then it was Michael Finley and Steve Nash leaving, and then Dirk became the leader of that team, and was a little uncomfortable in that position, struggled a little bit, and I think he's grown now and speaking to his teammates and knowing when and how to say things, especially in pressure situations. So we've seen Dirk grow. Not only is a great player, but also being the leader in that locker room now, the Dallas Mavericks.
Shot clock turned off. We wind down the first half. Liu Wei, three-pointer won't go. Ball tipped, still alive. Back up. Dufresne able to put it in at the buzzer. And that's his first basket of the Olympics. He's hardly played at all. He's played 6 total minutes before entering the game here in this final possession, and gets his first bucket, and an important one. Stays with it nicely, and China will head to the locker room down by 4. And a great defense from Germany. 22-8 they outscored China in that second. Halftime in this very important game, Germany leading China by 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Beijing performers featuring the Beijing Phoenix team.
Halftime at the Wukesong Arena as Germany leading China 31-27 to try and keep their hopes of getting into the medal round alive. Germany needs a victory to do so. China can also clinch a spot in the medal round with a victory. Such an important game here on this fourth day of competition for the men. Dirk Nowitzki and his team, Doug, 24% from the field, yet they lead by 4.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. 8 of 33. They're 5 of 23 from 2, but the big difference is they're +7 rebounding. More importantly, 12 of 12 from the free throw line. They're +10 points at the free throw line. That's the difference in the game. And Mike, I thought that Yao Ming got a little tired at the end of that half, and that's when Chris Kaman went to the bench with 3 fouls.
Kaman does not start the second half. Ball stolen once again, and then a travel. Kaman made the steal, but lost the pivot foot. He thought he got bumped. It's only the 6th turnover. That was another key. They shot the ball poorly, but they didn't turn it over. There's their head coach, Dirk Bowerman. He's a very successful pro coach in Germany. Just signed a 5-year deal to be exclusively the national team coach. They want to have continuity. As the foul called on Femmerling. They want to have the continuity and the stability. Same thing we've seen with the United States with Jerry Colangelo taking over a 3-year plan. They gave this man a 5-year deal and saying just concentrate on the national team. They want to get back to national prominence.
Well, it's interesting. We often talk about teams and strengths and weaknesses. You look at this Germany team, and with Chris Kaman playing on this team and Dirk Nowitzki, you've got Femmerling, who's a decent big guy. I mean, where they need to improve is in the backcourt. They get very little out of their guards, and if they could somehow find a really good point guard, it would really up the level of this team, because more and more we're seeing, whether it's international basketball or the NBA, if you don't have a top-flight point guard, it's tough to win.
Absolutely. Hammond inside to Femmerling. Jianlian did a nice job on Nowitzki in the first half. Nowitzki misfires, and Yao with the rebound, his 5th.
Anytime you can make him go right to shoot his jump shot, I think his percentage goes down and you have a better chance to defend him.
Yao, the only player shooting the ball well for China. There's a shot, the guy they need to get going, Sun Yue. They call him the Chinese Magic Johnson. He's 6'9". Can play point guard, 2, 3, very versatile. Hammond back to Femmerling, knocked out of his hands. Sun Yue with a nice play, but he stepped out of bounds.
Well, the difference in that game the other day for China against Angola, obviously Yao Ming was terrific with 30 points, but this guy Sun Yue had 11 points, did not miss from the field. Zhu Fangyu had a big game as well. Jianlian was terrific, so they need help other than Yao Ming like they got against Angola if they want to win this game tonight.
Hammond, too long, and Jianlian with the board. China with a 1-point lead here early in the 3rd quarter. They led by 10 after the first, but then had a disastrous second period, only scoring 8 points. Yao inside. He nearly tips it. Ball knocked loose to Nowitzki again. That's legal in international ball. Once the shot attempt hits the rim, you can knock it off even if it's right above the cylinder.
That's Dirk Nowitzki's 11th defensive rebound of the game.
Femmerling. Lots of contact. Damon Green got nailed in the face. They let a lot of that stuff go. Liu Wei. Yao thought about a 3. Sun Yue, just 22 years old. He's from Beijing, his hometown. It's where he was born and raised. Jianlian in and out. Knocked loose, Germany ball.
He's got a beautiful shot. So if he will get in the gym and really work and get in great shape, he can be a very good player because he's got all the tools. His shot is very sound.
If he gets the work ethic of Yao Ming, he'll be a great player.
He'll be a terrific player. And
that's a big if, though.
Exactly.
Green short. And a foul on Femmerling. 3 on Femmerling. Second team foul against Germany.
Remember now, China shoots 85% from the free throw line. So they would love to get the free throw line more often. They only got there 5 times in the first half, 2 of 5, and Yao Ming missed 2 free throws. He was only 1 of 3, so the free throw line has been good to China in the Olympics.
They're the best free throw shooting team in these Olympic Games. That's an incredible percentage for a team. Yao Ming shot off the mark. Yi battling. Li Nan picks it up. And they'll reset. Li Nan, the veteran, hardly saw any time earlier, getting the start here in the third quarter. That's him there. Longtime member of the Chinese national team. Very experienced. This is his 4th Olympics, Li Nan.
It's going to be really critical, too, for China to do a good job of managing Yao Ming's minutes here in this second half. He's played 3 emotional games. They need him fresh to finish this game. And I thought at the end of the half he was tired. One of the reasons why China struggled in that that second quarter, shot 3 of 16, only had 8 points in that quarter, was I thought the fatigue factor with Yao Ming.
He's got a cut right now, so while they stop the bleeding, Wang Zhuzhu will check in, so he'll get an unexpected breather right now. Wang Zhuzhu had a terrific game against Spain. They could use another big one. Yi on the drive. Bank shot won't go. They're patching him up quick. It's like in Hoosiers. Gene Hackman saying, patch him up, patch him up. (32-31), China by 1, 6.5 to play here in the third. Nowitzki knocked away. Schultz with 3 on the shot clock. Tough shot, in and out. Femmerling tried to keep it alive. Instead, Liu Wei gets it.
Looks like Germany's going to try to play this entire quarter without Chris Kaman, who has 3 fouls. I'm sure the German coach would love to him have 2 fouls. Well, actually, he's ready to come in right now. So they bought about 4 minutes so far with him to try to keep him away from that 4th foul.
Liu Wei, that's a 3. China back up by 4. They've scored 8 straight to start this third quarter. Germany still hasn't scored in the period. We've got 4 minutes, and there the drought ends as Nowitzki with a hard drive.
That's what great players do. When they recognize the need when your team needs a basket, get the ball in your hands. That's what he does in Dallas, and he converted here for the German national team to pull his team back within 2.
There's Li Nan. Wang Zhuzhu with Nowitzki on him. Nice give and go. Sun Yue kicks it out. Li Nan in the paint. And Schultz hit him. So Li Nan to the free throw line. Kaman will come into the game. Femmerling and Schultz will sit down. Roller also checks back in for Germany. And as the crowd chants China, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, I talked to Donnie Nelson after halftime, and he said the team was very tired, played very tense, particularly in that second quarter. He said they needed a rest. There wasn't a lot of X's and O's talking in halftime, more of a pep talk telling them, hey, just relax when you get out there and play. As for the difference in the 2 quarters, he said Germany definitely has a better bench than China. He said our job is to come out here and have a great third quarter and build on the lead and play for the crowd.
Well, you know, Craig, it's not so easy to relax and play when, as you said before the game, they were talking, this is the biggest game in Chinese basketball history for the national team. There's no question, Doug, they feel the pressure out there in front of this home crowd. Kaman gets the offensive rebound.
I agree. It'll be interesting if the game is tight. Will they be able to play through that kind of pressure?
Roller inside. Oh, nice shot. Couldn't go in, but Kaman right there for the tip-in. So Kaman now with 8 points, 8 rebounds. Germany back within 2.
I said Kaman and Nowitzki are going to need 40 for Germany to win tonight. They have 19 right now, so let's keep our eye on those 2 guys and how many numbers they throw up here.
Kaman had the foul problems, as you mentioned earlier. Yao Ming, Li Nan, way short. And a foul, Li Nan down the other end to stop the break. It'll be China's first team foul with 4:29 remaining in this third period.
Inside out play by China, the air ball by Li Nan, and the driving play by Germany. They will take the ball in, light out of bounds. Li Nan playing not with much confidence now. You can see when he took that shot, he did not believe it was going in when it left his hand, and that's a bad sign for a shooter.
And that's the guy they call the microwave oven in China. Another nickname taken from the NBA. Nice defensive play. We see Sun Yue with a number of deflections. Liu Wei. Nice shot. A little floater.
I like him. I like his game. You can just see, you know, he and Yao Ming have a special relationship, a friendship that goes back a long way when they played for the Shanghai Sharks with one another. And just when they're on the floor together, China has a different kind of confidence.
Kamen lost it, got it back, left-handed again. There's that pretty left hand, Doug, you spoke of.
Got to make him shoot the ball over his left shoulder with his right hand. It's a scouting report on him, and you play the Clippers.
Kamen coming off a terrific year individually. Was playing well until he hurt himself. As Li Nan comes up short. Yao Ming, the rebound, the follow, and one. And another fist pump for Yao Ming.
Oh, Chris Kaman fell asleep here. Yao Ming was out on the perimeter. The shot goes up, and Chris Kaman was ball watching. Instead of getting his body on Yao Ming, gives up the offensive rebound. And Yao Ming, once again, going into this game tonight, was shooting 19 of 21 from the free throw line. The other night against Angola, 10 of 11 in his 30-point night.
Foul on Nowitzki, his second. The lead is 5. Remember, China against Spain, and certainly Spain a much better team than Germany. China had the big lead, led by 14 early in the fourth and lost in overtime. They had a big lead early in this game, up by as many as 10, and wound up falling behind by 6. Kamen misses. Yi Jianlian with his 7th rebound. He's done a good job defensively and on the boards. Xu Fangyu. Well, the crowd was ready to explode.
That's one of those, when you shoot one like that, you have to act like the ball slipped out of your hands, that it was wet, or look at the ball, your hands.
Nobody's going to believe he's 0 for 5 tonight.
Got to sell the call there, though, Mike.
Nowitzki goes into the corner. Short jumper won't go from Garrett. Boy, Germany's still struggling, shooting 25%. It's amazing they're still in the game, let alone right there. 8 on the shot clock. Sun Yue. And Kamen with another rebound. He's got 10 boards. Yi Jianlian has taken the task of guarding Dirk Nowitzki. Nowitzki 3 of 11 from the field. Nowitzki, tough shot. Contested 3. Not a good shot that time. And Liu Wei the rebound. Germany dominated the second quarter. China has dominated this third quarter. They've outscored Germany 15-6 in the period. Yao tries a backdoor and throws it away. Here's Nowitzki spinning. Blocked by Sun Yue. Oh, what a rejection. Here he comes the other way. Xu Fangyu to the basket. Throws it up. And Yao lost it out of bounds. It was deflected by Nowitzki. China ball.
Well, you saw a little bit of that athletic ability the Lakers obviously like in Sun Yue. He's a streaky player, athletic, long arms, left-handed. Made a beautiful shot block that time on Dirk Nowitzki. Actually, he did a nice job. He forced Nowitzki to spin, and when he did, Sun Yue was there to help with the good team defense. Here's the spin, and watch here is Sun Yue right there to give his teammate good help. So good transition defense that time by China.
Just agreed to a 2-year deal with the Lakers, so he'll be in camp in October. He's getting a breather now. Wang Shipeng back in the game.
Somebody's going to have to make an outside shot here for China. You got all 5 guys packed up in the lane.
Yao over Kamen. Can't get it to fall. Xu Fangyu. Basket won't count. But he'll shoot 2 free throws. China getting physical again here in the third. That's been one of their problems. They've never been a real physical team.
I think you made a great point, though. China going into the fourth quarter with all this pressure to win this game tonight needs a cushion. They need an 8-10 point cushion going in just to give them a little breathing room in case Germany does what they did in that second quarter, make that push. Especially now you get a chance to rest Yao Ming a little bit. Maybe get him some couple minutes here so that he'll come back and be in the fourth quarter fresh.
.119 remaining in the third. China now up by 7. It's been an 11-point turnaround here in this third period.
Boy, Dirk Nowitzki just doesn't have much help out there. He's trying to do so much on his own. And right now guarded by Wang Zhuzhu, who played together with him in Dallas.
Hamann throws it up there and then commits the foul. And Germany in the penalty, so Yao Ming will shoot 2. And this crowd so alive right from when China first came out for the warm-ups to start the game.
Well, not only do you take a tough shot, Hamann, but now you complicate it by fouling the best shooter in the Olympics from the free throw line. So certain times you got to be able to take that miss and get on to the next play, not complicate your mistake. And here's Yao Ming. That's a third free throw he's missed tonight.
Oh, he's 4 of 7 overall. 17 points, 9 rebounds, a block shot. And they're going to take him out, give him a little breather right now. Just as you said, Doug, they needed to do that, manage the minutes so he's fresh for the fourth.
See, not only do you get this 56 seconds, then you get the 2 minutes between quarters, you get a little rest. So he might miss a minute of play and get like a 5-minute rest. And that's what you see NBA coaches doing so often, managing their timeouts and substitutions to get maximum rest with the least amount of game time missed.
Kamen tied up. China's defense very aggressive here in the third. Shot from Yaguan misses. Liu Wei in the paint. And a whistle on a foul. It's going to go against Germany as Yi Jianlian had position and was pushed. I believe it's against Kamen. And again, they're in the penalties, so free throws from Yi Jianlian. Kamen picks up number 4, so he's 1 away from fouling out.
Well, Yagla very upset. He missed an open corner 3 that would cut it to 45-40. And then Chris Kamen with a bad foul. So if he can knock down these free throws instead of a possible 5-point game, it goes to 10. You know, Mike, those are little swings. You and I do a lot of games in the NBA, and a shot missed here and a couple free throws. And instead of the lead being 10, it's only 5 or vice versa. So that's a big miss when you're trying to come back.
What a momentum swing it can lead to as E hits the first one. And we talk about Yi Jianlian and how he has to improve. We have to keep reminding ourselves he's only 20 years old. Remember when we saw him in Athens, he was 16. There's always been dispute on whether or not that's his real age, but that's what they say.
I think the big thing is not his age, but just his commitment, how hard he wants to work. You know, no matter how old you are, it's how hard you work.
The lead is back to 10. China had that after the first and blew it. Fell behind by 6. They have a foul to give right now. As Roller looking. Schultz runs into him. Shot clock at 4. Roller left-handed and gets the bounce. Boy, Rollers play well off the bench. They need him on the floor more. Liu Wei, that'll count if it goes. And that will end the third quarter. China turns it around here in the third period as they outscore Germany 20-8. And now China 1 quarter away from clinching a spot in the medal round. They lead it after 3, 47-39. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Mike, basketball is so popular. He showed the 5 flag bearers who carried their country's flags in the opening ceremonies. Every game here at this arena for both the men and the women is sold out. You cannot get a ticket when China is playing its basketball games. And on the way over to the stadium, I even found an NBA store that sells team jerseys. It's owned by Lynn Fox. It's called the Volcano Store. Not very big, but they have all sorts of jerseys, even the U.S. players' college jerseys, pictures of the United States team in front of the Statue of Liberty. And, of course, Yao's jersey hanging very prominent, and even the little fish there to kind of keep things on the lighter side. But if you walk in there, I bet I can even find a Doug Collins jersey in there, possibly even from Illinois State. And I talked to Lynn Fox, and I said, who are the highest highest selling jerseys in your store? He said number 1's Kobe, 2's Kevin Garnett, 3 Tracy McGrady, 4 Paul Pierce, 5 Allen Iverson, 6 Gilbert Arenas, 7 LeBron James, 8 Dwayne Wade, 9 Dwight Howard, and 10 Yao Ming. I said, why is Yao 10? He said because he's been playing the Olympics since he was 19 years old. He's a 6-time NBA All-Star, and all the basketball fans in China already have a Yao Ming jersey.
Yeah, Craig, it's amazing how popular the NBA team or any NBA player that comes here, even during the introductions. Here you have China playing in this huge game with a chance for them to make their national team history, get into the medal round here in Beijing. They introduced Dirk Nowitzki on their opposing team. There's the enemy, and they gave Dirk Nowitzki, this NBA star, a huge ovation.
Well, that's what Yao Ming has done, coming over to the NBA. Now, remember, before Yao Ming, it was Wang Zhuzhu who really probably opened the door. He went to the Dallas Mavericks as a draft pick, where Donnie Nelson was. Also, Tony Ranzoni was a scout. The guy who's with the international scouting now with the United States was a part of Dallas. He then was in China doing a lot of coaching. Then it went to Del Harris and then to Donnie Nelson. So Dallas Mavericks have been well represented coaching in China.
So we start the 4th quarter. Schultz, quick shot won't go. And Nowitzki the rebound. China were plus 10 in the first quarter. It was 19-9 after the first. But then Germany came back and dominated the second. As a turnover there from Green. And how about this? Just 21 seconds into the 4th quarter, Dirk Bowerman calls timeout. He's not happy and quickly wants to talk to his team. Remember, you only get 3 timeouts in the second half, so they only have 2 left.
Well, just to expound how dominant China was in the first and third quarters, 39-17 in those 2 quarters, so plus 22 in those 3 quarters after having a horrendous second quarter. And again, Mike, I go back to that Angola game, very similar. China was terrific in the first quarter. Angola got in the zone, and China fell apart in the second quarter. I loved what the China coach said at halftime. He said, I was flummoxed. I didn't know what was happening. And finally got his team together, and they went on to win the basketball game and put themselves in a position here now to get into the medal round.
Right now, let's go to a man who's never flummoxed, Greg Sager.
Well, Mike, we were talking about how important this game is to China. Donnie Nelson telling us before the game, the most important game in Chinese basketball history. It does have the same exact significance for Germany as far as the standings go, but does not have the same pressure and expectation. I talked to Jürgen Hoffel at halftime. He writes for the Würzburg Main Post. He's from Dirk Nowitzki's hometown. I asked what the reaction is in Germany to this game. He said, listen, the German people love their team. They really like the players in this team. Dirk Nowitzki is the biggest athlete in Germany. They love Dirk. That's why he was chosen to carry the flag. Yes, they want to win, but unlike the Chinese, they do not feel the same pressure. They do not have the expectations. They do not have the bearing of trying to win and advance in their home country. He said they were going to play very loose. But now we'll see if they can come back from an 8-point deficit.
Yep. Well, maybe if these Olympics were in Berlin, we would think a little differently.
I was thinking the same. If they were on their home court, they'd feel the same pressure China is right now.
They've got nearly 18,000 people cheering for him. E.G. Anlian stripped by Nowitzki. They'll inbound with 10 on the shot clock.
A quick first step, and this is where he will learn to protect that ball and go up and strong with the finish. The young guy's got a strong body. He's an excellent leaper.
And there's a foul on Green. Now, E.G. Anlian, he's only 2 for 6 from the field, but he's played a good, solid game. He's rebounded well. He's had a couple of steals. He had a couple of blocks. And you've seen a more aggressive performance from him here in this game than some of the others we've watched.
He could be an excellent defender. You've seen he's done a nice job on Dirk Nowitzki tonight. He's got up at the 3-point line and challenged his shot. Now, if he makes this shot, put him up 11. That's a big shot. Just can't get it to go, and Dirk leaks out.
Nowitzki on the drive, lost his balance. But they say last touch by E. No! They say that Eddie Rush waited a second before he made the call, and now he signals China ball.
How impressive was that, though? Jian Lian was underneath the basket. Dirk Nowitzki leaked out on the break. He was a good 3 strides behind him and caught him and forced the turnover, so he did not give up on the play.
And that was the right call, as you saw Nowitzki touched it last. Yao Ming leans in. Tough shot. It's good. Garrett sets it up.
China's showing a little zone here. They don't know where Dirk Nowitzki is on the floor if they're going to play zone.
Nowitzki kicks it in the corner. Back up top to Garrett. Garrett on his drive to Roller. And a 3-second violation called on Femerling. That will not count. For Germany, they only had 5 turnovers in the first half. They've got 6 so far in the second. Zhu Fangyu. Yao has got good position. Turns and shoots. Knocks it down again. Largest lead of the game for China.
Now, he showed great patience that time. The ball went into the post. He made Sun Yue clear out of there, so there could be no double team. Did not put the ball on the floor. Just went up, and that beautiful soft release from Yao Ming.
Just under 8 minutes remaining. Nowitzki, tough shot. Now you see Germany, it's almost like they're standing around waiting for Dirk to do something special. And Nowitzki, Sherpung didn't have to touch it, Warren. Gets it to E.
They want him to fire a 3.
Well, he hit one the first game, and he hit one here in this one.
Is he going to go inside? Let's see if they double team.
Yao throws it back out. 2 on the shot clock. That's a 3. Back to the rim, almost went in. That was a long 3, several feet beyond the line.
That would have been a backbreaker had that gone in at the end of the clock.
Roller. Boy, he's hit some big shots. 10 points to Roller. And as we said earlier, he's only averaging 4 points a game in the Olympics.
Really had not had a field goal in the whole tournament inside the 3-point line tonight. Either he or Damon Green going into tonight's game.
On Sherpung, count, and a foul. Beautiful give and go with Yao Ming.
So you see Yao Ming, he posts up a little bit higher, and what happens, it allows the guy room to cut on the baseline. If that post player might post down there too low, there is no room on the baseline, so that little give and go is not there. You see it so much in the triangle offense with LA. They have that corner cut, and when you get that post guy up, that corner man, they drop that ball off, and Yao Ming, so used to seeing double teams, his passing is so improved since he's gone into the NBA.
A gorgeous feed to Wang Sherpung. Now, Wang Sherpung was 0 for 6 from the field in this game before getting to hit this basket. A former swimmer who changed to basketball, now playing in his first Olympics. This crowd has been wonderful throughout the Olympic Games, but these games when China plays, boy, it's special. How much does this team mean to these people? And how much Yao Ming means to these people.
Mike, you were talking about Dirk Nowitzki. It's almost like now Germany's standing around waiting for him to do all the work and try to get them back in this game. Well, he hit his first 2 field goals. Since then, he's 1 of 12. So he's 3 for 14 on the night. So we got to give credit to Zhu Fangyu, Yi Jian. All these guys have done a nice job with Dirk tonight. And I said before the game, I didn't think that Germany could win unless Nowitzki and Chris Kaman threw up 40 points combined. Nowitzki has 13, and Kaman has 10, so 23. So I don't think they can score enough points.
Well, Germany scored points at the free throw line in the first half. They were 12 for 12. They haven't taken a single free throw in the second half. And as I said a couple of minutes ago, and this is a problem sometimes for this German national team. They just kind of wait around for Dirk Nowitzki to create something instead of the ball movement, and it all falls on his shoulders.
Well, if I'm the German coach and I'm in the German national basketball program, the next 4 years, I'm trying to develop some guards. I'm trying to get a point guard. I'm trying to get a guy who can shoot the ball. It will change your whole team. You cannot play without good guards. I don't care how good your big guys are. If you don't have good guards, you can't win. I don't care what level you're playing.
54-31. Remember, though, China had that 14-point lead to Spain. And when unable to hold on, they lost in overtime. Different level of competition as Nowitzki hits that shot. Spain certainly a better team than Germany. But China, we've seen them get tight down the stretch of games that they had the lead.
Yeah, Germany loses tonight. They're looking at the United States on Monday. That's, they better really dig in here in the last 6:22.
Germany loses tonight, and their hopes of the medal round are over. Shot clock winding down. Long pump, right-handed, short. And here comes Garrett. Nowitzki, another shot. That's a three-pointer. Dirk Nowitzki with back-to-back big buckets. First the two-pointer, then hits the three. And Germany back with an 8 with still over 6 minutes remaining.
All Germany wants to do is put themselves in a position in the last 2 minutes to win this game, to put the pressure on China to see if they can meet the expectations of moving on.
Again, Nowitzki, for Germany to get into these Olympics, finally to have his dream fulfilled, they had to beat Puerto Rico in the bronze medal game in the qualifying tournament just last month in July. If they had lost that game to Puerto Rico, they would not have made the Olympics. And Dirk went out and had 32 points. And on to Beijing for the first time in 16 years for the German national team making an Olympic appearance.
Well, Mike, you've seen a lot of games here. Can China hold on this last 6:02? Do they have enough?
Well, the crowd is certainly behind them, but it remains to be seen, Doug. I don't know. They've had some shaky moments. And again, a lot depends on, and you've talked about this right from the start, how much does Yao Ming have in his tank? He's not 100% physically. He's not 100% stamina-wise. He's 100% committed and so desperate to get his national team into the medal round. But whether or not he can do it physically, we'll have to see. Full court pressure from Germany. And here's where that man, number 5, Liu Wei, plays such a key role for China. He's their best handling point guard. Roller, a good defender. Sun Yue to Yao Ming. Trying to isolate. Single coverage with Chris Kaman. Yao, the little jump hook, in and out. Yi on the follow, but he pushed off to get the rebound. And that's going to be his 3rd foul, only the first team foul on China.
That's a good aggressive play, though. The referee might not make that call. That foul is not in any way hurt China. So that's a nice play by Yi to maybe catch the referee by surprise, get a little bit of a stick back there.
You got to figure the Chinese fans a little nervous right now. Nowitzki for 3, off the mark.
Well, that would have been a big shot. That would have been 8 straight points by Dirk and would have cut the lead down to 5.
Sun Yue hounded by Green. They're doing the smart thing, getting the offense through Yao Ming. Kaman, physical with him. Yao, short again. Nowitzki, yet another rebound. That's 14 boards for Nowitzki.
That's what we saw against Spain the other day when Pau Gasol did a nice job late in the game on bodying out Yao Ming off that block.
Hammond to Kaman, lost it, but got it back. Kaman, nice spin move, puts it up, reverse, won't go. Nice move, just couldn't finish. Just over 4.5 remaining. Yao kicks it out. Liu Wei, that's a 3. In and out.
Trying to get very stagnant. Yao Ming getting that ball every time on the block. That shot clock starting to wind down against them.
Nowitzki probably saying, well, somebody else, please help me out, make a basket here. Good defense from me on ball denial. And there's the guy that keeps doing it. Pascal Roller, the veteran of over 121 national games. At 31 years old, playing huge in perhaps the biggest game of his Olympic career or national team career. 8 straight points for Germany. Liu Wei, Kaman the rebound.
Starting to get tight.
Roller again.
Whoa!
In and out. That one was halfway down.
That would have made it a 2-point game. Pascal Roller feeling the heat. Look at Yao Ming, how tired he is, Mike. We talked about this. They're going to him every possession. And Chris Kaman is just pushing him off that block. Someone else has got to make a field goal.
Liu Wei, 6 on the shot clock. Liu Wei for 3. Again, a miss. And Kaman with another rebound. Kaman with 12 boards. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining. China hasn't scored for a while on this 8-0 run for Germany. Nowitzki to the basket. Count it, and a foul. What a move from Dirk Nowitzki. And it's a three-point game.
When he goes left, he steps back and shoots. When he goes right, he wants to finish all the way. That's a nice finish by Dirk Nowitzki. We talked about being 3 of 14 from the floor. This is where that NBA mentality comes in. You have to believe late in the game those shots are going to start to fall for you. They are now for Dirk Nowitzki. Got a chance to finish off the three-point play, make this a 2-point game.
And you see Yao Ming, again, he looks so tired. They've gone to him every time down the floor. And a 13-point lead has been cut to 3, and Nowitzki with a free throw has a chance to cut it to 2.
Tell you what I would do right now if I was China. I'd put Wang Zhuzhu in the game, and I'd take out Zhu Fangyu. Because I think right now Zhu Fangyu's lost any confidence shooting the ball. I'd let Yi Jianlian play the 3 spot offensively. I'd have him continue to guard Nowitzki, but I'd get another threat out on the floor, especially a guy who's experienced, who could make a shot.
Well, Dirk Nowitzki certainly experienced in making big shots, and that one was a tough move. Germany now 10 straight points. With 2:59 remaining, let's send it over to Craig Sagan.
Well, Mike, talking about the score being 54 to 53. Scoreboard says 54 to 51. They have not given them credit for that basket yet.
You know, Craig, I think they did. It was a 5-point game, and now it's 3, and now Nowitzki has a chance to cut it to 2. And this will be Germany's first free throw of the second half. So Dirk Nowitzki in this game, 20 points. He's just 6 of 18 from the field, but hitting big shots here. He also has 14 rebounds, and he's perfect from the line, 7 for 7. Germany hasn't missed a free throw, even though that's their first attempt of the second half. And
remember, one of Germany's strengths is that three-point shot. So now a three-point shot would give them the lead. Let's see where China's going to go offensively.
Zhu Fangyu to the basket, blocked by Kamen. And Germany with a chance to tie or take the lead. They led by 4 at halftime and had a disastrous third period. China's led by as many as 13 here in the fourth.
Dirk loves this little step-back move there that he shoots when he's in Dallas.
A travel.
Gonna call it travel.
Wow.
Ooh.
He had the huge advantage on Liu Wei. Coach Bowerman can't believe the call.
That's the play he loves in Dallas. When he gets a mismatch, he catches that ball at the top of the circle. Going for the walk, and that shot actually went in. It would have tied the game.
Sun Yue, Yao Ming jumper, knocks it down. China back up by 4. Yao now with 22. Make that 24. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Nowitzki has an opening. Nowitzki for 3, puts it in. Dirk Nowitzki from downtown, and it's a 1-point game.
Zhu Fangyu left Dirk Nowitzki to go over to Haman, and left Nowitzki to knock in the 3. You got to know who you're guarding. You got to make Haman take that shot.
56-55. Germany's coming back from down 13 with just over 6.5 to go. China on the verge of maybe another big collapse. And a foul call. It's going to go against Haman. It's only the 3rd team foul. So China will take it out of bounds.
How many timeouts does China have?
They have 1 timeout left, same as Germany.
If they had 2 timeouts right now, I would take a timeout and let Yao Ming get some rest right now. They've got possession of this ball, a vital possession, but they cannot burn their last timeout here. Remember now, on a score in the last 2 minutes, the clock stops, and you can substitute.
Liu Wei. Sun Yue on the drive, kicks it out. Zhu Fangyu misses, rebound Nowitzki. And the crowd so nervous now. Their team was in control early in the 4th. Will a replay of what happened against Spain occur again? Nowitzki to the basket, offensive foul as he goes barreling into Yao Ming. Two big calls against Nowitzki. First the travel, and now the offensive foul.
Mike, I've said it many times, in international play, NBA guys are not refereed as stars. It's not like it's close, maybe get the benefit of the doubt. Dirk Nowitzki's looked upon as if he's Zhu Fengyu over here, so it's a little different.
Sun Yue calls out the play. There's Zhu Fengyu. They're looking for Yao once again. Yao with Kamen on him. 5 on the shot clock. Yao puts it up. Won't go. Rebound Yao. And Liu decides not to shoot the 3. They get a new 24. Sun Yue on the drive. Yi Jianlian. It's good. China by 3. Timeout Germany. And this crowd exploding.
Look at Yao Ming with Yi Jianlian. This is what he wants to see from this young guy, this young kid with so much talent. Steps up under pressure, knocks in a big shot. Yao Ming is out on his feet in terms with his fatigue. Now it comes down to there's a 4-second differential on the clock. You know, all the crazy strategy that goes into international play. That's a good call as Dirk Nowitzki was called with the offensive foul.
A thunderous ovation here at the Olympic Basketball Gymnasium in Wukesong. We told you at the top, Craig Sager reporting, assistant coach Don Nelson calling it the biggest game in China's national basketball team history in the senior national team. It will put them into the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games for only the 2nd time, but this one obviously means so much more here in Beijing.
Now China only has 2 fouls, and there's a 4-second differential. It's going to be interesting to see what Germany does here. Do they try to get a quick shot for a 2? You don't know the strategy of this German coach. We've not been around him enough. Obviously, you got a great 3-point shooter in Dirk Nowitzki. You don't need the 3 right now. Germany is out of timeouts. China has 1, and China only has 2 fouls. So let's see if they know how to use their fouls, and let's see what their strategy they are. Do they let Germany get off the 3? Do they take the foul? So this is going to be fun to watch here at this finish.
China by 3. Rollers hit some big shots to Nowitzki. Nowitzki for 3. In and out, no good. Yao Ming the rebound, and they foul him immediately. Nowitzki had a great look, Doug.
Wide open. I mean, he just circled in and out of the rim, and you couldn't get a better shot this for Dirk Nowitzki. In and out right at the top of the circle. Now it's up to Yao Ming to step up and knock down these 2 free throws. He has missed 3 in the game.
Four-point lead for China. 18.8 remaining. Still time for Germany. Nowitzki the rebound. Germany has to push. They're out of timeouts. Nowitzki struggling, stolen by Liu. Zhu Fengyu dribbling away. And there's a foul call with 7.2 remaining. And this crowd ready to celebrate.
What a great sight. What a wonderful sight here. After the devastating loss to Spain. Bouncing back. Look at Yao Ming. Got his fist to the crowd. Man, I got goosebumps here, Mike. This is good stuff.
And he said that after the loss. He says, yes, it's disappointing, but we still have work to be done. We still have a goal to meet. And they're ready to meet that goal of making it to the quarterfinals, making it to the medal round.
China still has a foul to give. They have to be very smart. If Germany's pushing that ball up the floor, maybe you take the foul and make them burn some clock. There you go.
And smart play. He almost put it in. It came before the shot attempt.
Think about this. So now China's missed 3 free throws here. Yao Ming has missed 1. Zhu Fengyu has missed 2. Still a 4-point game. So, I mean, you foul a 3-point shooter and make the shot. So the only way China could lose this game right now is if they foul.
Roller dribbles, puts up the 3-pointer, won't go. And one of the biggest wins in China's basketball history happens here in Beijing. is in the medal round as they hang on down the stretch to defeat Germany and make it into the quarterfinals. An emotional Yao Ming with 25 points and 11 rebounds. You could tell fatigue down the stretch. He's not 100%. And Germany is out of the middle round. One of the great sportsmen the game of basketball has ever seen, Yao Ming, with just this huge smile on his face. What a sense of accomplishment he must feel right now.
Well, you just feel the pride of the country. I mean, this is a great moment for China, and who better to enjoy it than Yao Ming?
So China defeats Germany 59-55, and they officially clinch a berth in the medal round. A wild scene, a thunderous crowd here at the Wukasan Arena.